Hi, welcome to our mini video series called Reframing Reality. Basically, we're going to take you through almost all of the parables or riddles that Luke includes in his gospel, and we're going to burst them open right in front of you. Yeah, so thank you. So it turns out that Luke records something like 28 parables in his gospel.
Why only something like 28 parables?
Why can't we say 28 parables? It's not a secret. The Bible's been around for quite a few months. Yes, that is true. That is true. It's not always easy to spot which parables are designed as parables.
Doesn't Luke usually say something like, and then Jesus told a parable, or something like that?
Yeah, but sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. And even then, sometimes there's more like a teaching point for that moment. But what we're interested in really are the ones where they're more like riddles and you have to work them out.
Show me the money, Alex.
Show me the money. Do you mean give me a quick overview, interview? Overview.
That wasn't very clear.
Overview. Let's just put it behind me. So behind me are the six we're going to do. Here's all the titles. I'm not showing you all the parables.
But again, it's not a secret. The parables are in Luke's gospel.
Okay. So this is video 1, and we're calling it The Old Ways. Right. So why did you choose this to be the first one, oh wise leader?
Yes,
because it's the first one in Luke.
So not so much thought on that then.
Oh, well, yes and no.
I hate it when you say that.
Yeah, sorry. It is the obvious place to start, but it's the only one we're going to look at as a single parable. All the others, Luke seems to group together to make the same point in a number of different ways. But he's also very clever. So he's got a strong progression of thought that goes through them all. There's like a story arc within the story of Jesus where all these parables build on themselves.
Almost as if he's done it on purpose. Who'd have knew?
Yeah, you're mocking me again.
You make it so easy.
The way we most often look at parables is to take them one at a time, though, isn't it? What does this one mean? What does this one mean? But they do make more sense and they mean more when we see them as part of this whole package. So that's what we're going to do. Got it? Yes. And the other thing we're going to do in this series is rethink the parables. Rewrite.
You mean rewrite the Bible? I'm pretty sure that's a big no-no, Alex.
No, we're not going to rewrite the Bible. We're going to take the parables and we're going to make our own one to see if it helps unpack the meaning.
Right. Still kind of seems like the same thing.
It's really not. It's not meant to replace anything or be scripture itself. It's a companion.
You're going to die.
Can we get on with it?
Not the death.
The parable. Sure. The old ways. So, what's this one about? Right. This one is a super tiny one. I think it's only like 2 verses long. Here's what it says. Jesus is talking with some religious leaders who are about to test him or trap him, and they ask Jesus why he's not doing the things that they all do. So, read us what it says.
Right, okay. He told them this parable. No one tears out a piece of new garment to patch an old garment. Otherwise, they'll have torn the new garment, and the patch from the new one will not match the old one. And no one pours new wine into old wineskins. Otherwise, the new wine would burst the skins, and the wine would run out, and the skins will be ruined. No, new wine must be poured into new wineskins. And nobody who drinks the old wine looks at the new. They always say old wine is better.
Likes the new. It's actually 4 verses. Shows what you know. Yeah, thanks for your generosity and grace. So, what's that all about then?
Oh, well, parables are riddles, aren't they? Designed to get us thinking about life and God and reality in a subversive way. I'm guessing he's not on about clothes and drinks. So, both parables, another thing you said was wrong, by the way. You said there was only one thing. Clearly, too many stories going on here. Both parables say that something new is happening, and if we try to attach the old and the new together, both will get ruined.
You've nailed it.
Thank you.
Is there anything else in there? Any little lines tucked away that might give us more information?
Yeah. So this bit here at the end here, right? No one after drinking the old wine wants the new. They say the old is better. So what's that about then?
Does it annoy you when you want to do something a little innovative or experimental and the cry comes back, we tried that in the 80s and it didn't work? Or that's not the right way to do things, or in our day we did.
It does annoy me. It does annoy me.
Yeah, okay, so
yes.
put it back on yourself. Like, what has someone else done, and at the time you thought it was wrong, or they'd missed the point, right? And then later on, you're like, well, this is all right.
For me, no, I consistently embrace change that others have brought to me. I'm a team player, a self-starter, and I look for innovation.
And if this wasn't a job interview, what would you say?
In that view? Okay, there's a small thing. I was part of an Elim Pentecostal church one time, and the new minister came and he decided he'd lead the musical worship and preach from like one of those high stools that you sit at a breakfast bar.
And that was a big problem, was it?
Immensely. It was wrong.
Was it?
He looked like a country and western star, and the preaching was too relaxed. He wasn't taking it seriously.
So the same content, but he was on a stool, so you couldn't cope.
Yeah, he changed his whole body language. He should have been standing up to play, and he should have gently paced the floor and moved his hands when he was preaching. Yeah.
And that's how you felt at the time.
And now, amusingly now, my lovely wife sometimes leads worship from a very similar stool, and I often preach like in a cafe where I'm like sat down with a cup. No one's pacing anywhere.
Or on video.
Yeah.
So now you're ready for
yes.
it. Yeah,
now I'm ready.
Yeah. So now imagine that Jesus is trying to help the whole of humanity rethink how we do faith. He wants to move it from something where we follow rules and regulations to the best that we can, which inevitably forms like a hierarchy of better people and worse people.
Yeah.
And he wants to move it back to every human being having a relationship with God and with each other.
So maybe that's why this is the first parable in Luke then.
Maybe. It's the first thing that Jesus talks about. It's after he's already been rejected from his home synagogue and the religious leaders are now getting all uppity and they're like, you're not doing things our way.
But Jesus grabs a whole load of new disciples, none of which fit into these systems, and he basically starts all again.
Well, not starting again. He needs to do something new because he knows that the new will not fit into the old system of thinking. In fact, they might break it.
And he needs to do that through the whole of human history, I think, doesn't he?
Yeah. I mean, look at Christianity. The Reformation, the birth of the Methodist Church, the birth of the Salvation Army, Scripture Union movement, the House Church movement, the Pentecostal movement, the Quakers, the Baptist movement.
Yes.
And
you said we were going to rewrite the Bible, yes?
Pretty sure I made sure not to say that.
No, you did. How are you going to rewrite this one then?
As a parable?
Yeah.
How about this? A dancer came to a city. He went to all the dance schools: ballet, jazz, folk, hip hop, cheer, ballroom, Latin, they are different things, contemporary. But then he raised up his own group of fresh students. The head teachers and the experts in dance theory all came to see him, and they demanded, who gave you the right to dance this way? Which school tradition do you belong to? But he just took his students and he danced in the streets. The love of movement began to return to everyday ordinary people, particularly people who had no skills, education or money to belong to one of these professional schools. And soon people were dancing everywhere. Why don't you do things the way that we do them? They asked. How can you put aside generations of honing our craft? The dancer replied, no one takes the freedom of movement and tries to weave it into a tight, rigid system. Otherwise, the new dancers would be crippled and the old systems would break. The new movement needs to be given freedom to evolve on its own. And no one who excels at the old system ever wants to dance in a fresh way. They say, our dance traditions are better.
It's good.
That's good.
Yeah. It's no Bible rewrite.
No, for the love of Pete.
I'm just messing. I'm messing. It was pretty good considering you're not the king of the universe.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks. So the question that this parable throws up right at the start of Jesus' ministry to humanity is this. Are we going to be moldable enough in the way that we think about faith and God and humanity and people and even the way we think about ourselves, to allow God to start to do something new right here and now in our time? Can we put down the systems and traditions that we see as the only right way to do things and allow the Spirit of God to teach us new ways to dance? Yeah, notice though, Jesus doesn't trash Jewish tradition and history in the big sense. He has got something to say about the attitude that says nothing should change, and the attitude that says that people who don't do it like we do have got it wrong. Yeah, so question. At its core, what should church be? Because it's not about running worship events every week. I'll tell you that. It's not the God Show or a club for nice people. If we strip it all back to what Jesus wanted it to be, then we start to think, okay, which parts of the old do we need to hold on to keep that reality, and which new things do I also need to put in? Yeah, so there we are. Video 1, the old ways.